Today's video is going to be about something from last year, September 24th through 29th, about FEMA or the government or lasers being involved in pushing a hurricane at two cities that are 53 miles apart, King Mountain and Chimney Rock in North Carolina. This was supposedly over a lithium deposit that they were going to try to make eminent domain during a land grab by annihilating both cities. But that would require that it show that the hurricane was steered to a different position, supposedly by FEMA lasers. Now, I want to point out that one of the people who popularized this lie, and it is a lie, was a group called Veterans on Patrol, and it was almost like a flashback to Obama era FEMA camp, FEMA trains, FEMA shackles, FEMA guillotines, and FEMA coffins. The reason, if you're not aware of these stories being told the way they are, even though they're ridiculously easy to detect as falsehoods, is because they make sure they're really short explanations. Debunking things often takes much longer than lying about them. So we're going to go ahead and just go over here and close the tab on the left and hit F11. I'm going to see how good my lineup is. Now, first thing we're going to do is lineup is important. And I'm using a Wikipedia version of the path of the hurricane. You can correct that. You can argue that I'm making some stupid mistake, and that would be perfectly acceptable. Now, we're going to use a few lineup points here. Up above Denver, there's a mountain range of sorts, and right at about just as it goes into Wyoming, there's this little circle thing with a little arm sticking up. It looks like, a little guy going, woohoo, with one arm. So we're going to try to find that on our hurricane path, which, if I scooch this up, we find it basically in the upper left-hand corner almost entirely. Now I'm going to try lining that up exactly with it and make it, that's almost on the dot. Now when we look lower, about right under the word New Mexico here, we see a white dot and a kind of a hill or mountain that was lighted from apparently the west coast. And when we look here, it's almost lined up exactly right. Now it's not perfect, so if I move it up just a teeny bit, we're going to make the stuff on top off by making it up too high, but not much. Now after lining that up, we're going to look over onto the side over here in North Carolina on the coastline that sticks out much more further and see how close I've got it. And it's reasonably close, but it's like, the map is a little tilted, the one with the track on it. So it's not quite perfect, but this is a pretty good lineup. I mean, that's cool. There's New York and Connecticut over there, and we get, pretty close. So this is after me resizing the image you're looking at several times to where we get close. Now I'm going to look for landmarks. Now, right up where it seems to curl counterclockwise in the upper edge, there's a shell kind of shaped item right in the middle of Tennessee right there, right above the first letter S in Tennessee. And it seems to spread out like a conch shell or whatever. I'm going to try to center that exactly correct. And I get pretty close. Actually, it's off a little bit. So I've got to move my Tennessee and the shell up a little. And it's a little bit more up would be good. So, yeah. Let's do that. Now, the thing is, this image is slightly rotated, the scale is wrong, etc. Also, there's a forced perspective effect because the Earth is not a completely flat surface. Yeah, I know, frightening. So, next thing is we're going to fixate on our specific point we're looking at. Right over here from Atlanta, and then along the line for Tennessee, you'll notice there's a darkened area here. And when we look at this map, we now have that lined up almost perfectly. Okay, can you see that? So we have a very good lineup. Now, the claim is that someone at one point or another was steering a hurricane in a way that's very suspicious, that was aimed straight to this spot here, Kings Mountain, and another city 53 miles away. Now, when we look here, we see it going kind of towards there. We would think that it would kind of get there. And, if it had gone that way, that'd be great. But it immediately deviated after hitting Florida, went almost perfectly north, and then right when it would get to the border between South Carolina, Georgia, and North Carolina, this little point right here in the middle, almost that exact point, it veered to the west instead of the east, because it would have had to turn to the east fairly sharply to be able to be aimed, quote unquote, at that city. It then spiraled again over here and seemed to fixate on flowing, screwing up stuff right here in Kentucky, like right straight down from Cincinnati there, just tearing it up, and then it kind of dissipated. Now, this is over a 4-day period of time, and it did, a unusual thing. It went up through the space between Cuba and the Yucatan Peninsula, and it really did something weird, and it seemed to avoid everything and then just slam straight into the what part of, well, if Florida is America's I'm not familiar with the anatomical joke I would do. We'll skip that. But the point is, did this divert? I'm going to flip back and forth rapidly, aiming at that town. Now we're talking about what happened. Now this is, as far as I know, an accurate depiction of its pathway over the United States. Now, of course, you may have trouble looking that up because a lot of things are being scrubbed from the records because certain people are running our country now for the second time that like erasing things and like shredding things and burning things and taking stuff home and hiding them in their houses and guaranteeing they're going to release some files and then never fucking do it. Because that's the world you're in and you're soaking in it. Yeah, this isn't just about lying about a hurricane's pathway being diverted by a specific ethnically oriented set of lasers from space manipulating the hurricanes as a dog whistle. Number one, it didn't do what they claimed it was doing, and it didn't do what they claimed was about to happen. And no, them making the claim didn't affect its pathway, nor would a Sharpie on here poorly drawn. I thought of actually making this look like a Sharpie drawing just to pay homage to our idiot in chief. This isn't really about that. The more you tell a lie, the more people believe it. The more you... I don't want to requote certain people who were dealt with after World War II, but you end up doing it, don't you? Yeah. So why was this lie told by individuals who are part of various, militia groups or that always seem to end up being somehow, for some blasted reason, oriented towards bigotry and violence and trying to get other people to do the dirty work for them because they are cowards and they want us to do it? Like every other group of leaders that never gets their hands dirty because they're a bunch of chicken shits. Yeah. So that's what you're dealing with here. It's not the liberals doing it. The liberals are going to come after you and put you in a FEMA. No, there's no FEMA camp. They're just trains. No, they're not. Well, it would be kind of funny if there was. No, it wasn't. No, it isn't. You're just full of shit. So let's just tap it back and forth. Having the path prove that it was going away from the area shows that it wasn't being steered that way, number one. Number two, the idea that human beings can manipulate things to that level, if we could, we would be using them as weaponized attacks against other countries, not our own, you nitwits. Next, if you want to post a comment that contradicts me, if it's just the same old horse shit, it's not going to show up. So don't bother. Go find some place where you have your version of free speech where you can stop people from critiquing your bullshit. So that's really about it, about the hurricane. Now let's bring up what this is really about. Attacking the group of people that were able to accurately help you avoid getting hurt in one of these. Attacking the country of the United States by getting us to attack each other because, again, chicken shits in China, Russia, and other countries that want us at each other's throats are too chicken shit to attack us directly because we're still the superpower. So they get us against each other. The exact claim that was made at one time about why all the people are protesting Vietnam. But what we have here is people going online and confusing everybody about what the pathway is to leave Atlanta, Georgia, or whether or not it's actually going to go into North Carolina more and head into Virginia. No, it wouldn't. It diverted through Kentucky and spiraled like a death spiral in Kentucky. But that was when it was dying down. So no, it's not weather control. It's not any of that. Those are all distractions from the problem, which is we have screwed up our planet enough that it's getting worse, and we're not able to deny it unless you absolutely work at it. And the real reason these lies were told was to gin up anger and frustration as an October surprise, just like every other damn October surprise, to get people to stop thinking and start doing what they were told by whoever has enough power to spread the bullshit. Okay? So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. You'll all need it. And again, every single time you hear people lie to you and you know it's the same people over and over again, learn to just stop reposting what they said and learn not to believe the people who've lied to you before. And unfortunately, it is not both sides. It is one side currently and has been for a pretty good period of time. And lying over and over again about how it's the other side doesn't make them the liar. And yeah, we need NOAA, FEMA, and all of these organizations back, along with the CDC. And yes, one side is dismantling this as rapidly as possible, and I'm terrified to find out what or who they're doing this on behalf of and who their handlers are. I'm pretty sure you can guess where I'm aiming. Bye.